Coming up on today's FNN, how the new grading policy is impacting staff and students.
Plus, we look at life as a small business owner in Grand Rapids.
And we have winter sports highlights. Stay tuned for all of that and more because FNN starts now. Happy Friday, Falcons. I'm Ibti.
And I'm Mariah.
A new grading system is in place at EK this year, shifting the focus to 70% learning mastery and 30% learning process. FNN's Brooklyn Hill spoke with students and teachers about how the new system is impacting the classroom.
Another option Converse has, but it's another one that's not.
At East Kenwood High School, there is a new grading system in place, where learning mastery is 70% and 30% is learning process. With the new grading system, there are many different opinions. Erica Lemus, a junior at EK, talks about her struggles and personal issues with the new system.
I do feel more stressed because I know that the test is definitely going to make a big impact on my grade, and it's just all it's all very stressful and it's very frustrating because even if I study a lot and I'm just not a very good test taker, it's going to make me feel like I don't understand the material when really it's just the stress that I'm under.
Recently, students' lack of preparedness is showing in their test scores, and teachers are starting to notice students not take tests seriously and depending on the retake. Miss Lehman, a math teacher at EK, talks about how this grading system has affected students' efforts on their tests.
Students, again, they tend to bank on those retakes, and sometimes I would love to say, hey, what do you actually know? And not just, okay, I saw what was on the test, now let me bank on knowing now to study for the test. Do I actually know the content? But we're working to make sure that those retakes are actually retakes and not necessarily just a test form too, that it's the same exact thing. And so I think that helps us see, okay, do you actually know the content, or are you just memorizing the test?
The new grading system is causing classrooms to follow new structures. This change has affected students and teachers in both good and bad ways. Shane Nishime, a junior, says he doesn't mind the new system because it creates consistency among his classes.
I'd say the most effective part of the system would be the splitting it 70%, 30%, and having a clear-cut way of having 70% being for all mastery and 30% being for all process, because it kind of just gives everybody one structure to focus on rather than having different teachers with different things.
Only time will tell whether this new system becomes a force that truly supports teachers and lifts up students, or one that quietly adds to their struggles. At EK, I'm Brooklyn Hill.
School leaders say they will continue monitoring how the system impacts students' performance and engagement.
Small businesses are often called the backbone of America, but for many Black-owned businesses, the path to success can come with additional barriers. I spent time with a pair of small business owners to learn more.
In a sea of big businesses and corporations, small businesses can sometimes get lost and struggle to find not only their voice, but their place. This is even harder for Black and minority businesses who have added challenges. But those same challenges can make the successes that much sweeter. Marcus Wright, co-founder and owner of Daddy's Dough Cookies, began his business while working full-time. He says it felt great to start his business, but when he compared himself to others, it made him doubt himself. And it took focusing on his own journey to help him get on track.
It felt good because I was doing something along with my full-time job, so it was just additional income. So it felt great, but when I quit my full-time job and went just hardcore, just on the business only, there were definitely moments I doubted myself because I started to look at what other people were doing and started to compare myself. When I removed that comparison and just started focusing on just the business by itself and doing what I knew I could do within the business, I definitely began to succeed there.
Everyone's struggles are different, but even so, one thing most Black businesses can agree on is that it is an uphill battle. Sometimes you have to do twice the work to get half as far. Brian Mosby, co-owner of Mosby's Popcorn, defines success as something that is fluid, something that changes and grows with you and your business.
Me personally, I would define success as something that's fluid. I think when you first initially start a business, success looks one way to you, and then after you just hit 10 years, success looks totally different than what it did 10 years ago. For me, It's to have multiple locations, be a household name in the Midwest, if not nationally, establishing ourselves as a go-to brand, and just being able to provide a life for my family that is sustainable and has the opportunity to be passed down from generation to generation.
Whether it's the struggles or the successes, no one's experiences are the same. Regardless, every business needs support. Eric Brown, the president and CEO of the Urban League of West Michigan, says small businesses are built into the fabric of America, and that local support is crucial to building not only Black wealth, but community wealth.
I think the importance of supporting Black and minority businesses is if it's truly the fabric of American society, we have to make sure everybody's able to participate in that fabric and be part of that fabric. And also, it helps create wealth. Black folks have been denied opportunities, economic opportunities for generations and decades, and actually even centuries.
With so many small Black businesses and small businesses in general closing in Grand Rapids, every visit, every order, and every social media like matters. In Grand Rapids, I'm Mariah Wright.
Community support is not only important to help small businesses survive, but to continue growing.
East Kentwood offers many different clubs to their students, including the Black Student Union that can positively change lives and bring people together. FNN reporter Chastity Reed digs deeper into the positive impacts that BSU brings to our school community.
We're supported. That's why this is so important, because
what made me want to join BSU was the culture and the significance that I felt when I was surrounded by people who looked like me and talked like me and had the same goal as me to know more about my culture, know more about my background. Being in a group that was predominantly not like me in my culture, it was very eye-opening to be around people who all came together for a common purpose.
Right now we have a very great group of girls and guys and just people in general. And I think that we have conversations that are geared towards issues that are current and issues that are in students' personal lives right now. We have talked about representation, we've talked about hair type, we've talked about relationships, and I think that there is just an extra level or extra layer that's added when you are of color or Black that is not often talked about when we talk about those specific topics.
only some people get to, only a few.
It's really just like eye-opening. It brings out a lot of different views of how things really run with Black culture, because obviously I'm going to have my own opinions about it, but seeing other people's ideas and how they view everything, it's definitely changing things.
The fact that I'm getting a bunch of different perspectives, perspectives that I wouldn't ever experience unless I was in a group full of people who don't share the same life as me or don't share the same world as me, I would have never been able to experience that if I didn't do the Black Student Union.
It's not even like race, but like it is race.
I really hope that this club is a safe space. I know how hard it is to not feel like you're not safe, whether it be at home or even at school. So I hope that for the short time we meet, that they feel relaxed, safe, that they can talk about their problems.
I hope the club kind of opens everyone's eyes about our culture, because with everything going on, it's important to know your history, your future, what's going on now. I just hope it really gets to them and helps them step up and become something better in the future.
Meet in Miss Parker's room every Thursday after school to experience the conversations and influences of EK's Black Student Union.
BSU is not the only student organization working to celebrate culture and build community at EK. The Latino Student Association, also known as LSA, is creating a space where students can connect, grow, and find a sense of belonging. Rania Khani has more.
At East Kentwood High School, one student organization is making a significant impact on campus. It's the Latino Student Association, also known as LSA, a club dedicated to celebrating Latino culture and forming a community among Latino students. For many students, LSA has become a place where they found community and empowerment. LSA President Bianca Santos, shares how leading the club has helped her and others grow personally and socially.
LSA is the Latino Student Association, which is mostly about Latinos and Hispanic people, but it's not just about our culture, but having people come and join us to learn more about our culture. My role as a president is to be able to have people come together and join us, and it's not more just of a president's role to have LSA be the big thing that it is, but it's also our other officers that combine and help other people as well. I think the most rewarding thing is being able to meet new people and being able to put myself out there and being able to spread my voice and what I like to say.
The impact of LSA isn't limited to just leadership. Members at all levels say that the club has changed their high school experience for the better. Vice President Demarius Cantu explains how LSA has given them the opportunity to step out of their comfort zone and blossom into the person they are today.
So I think that we celebrate it just by having our meetings. Our meetings are like different things like making food or playing different types of games. We try to include every type of Latino culture just because we know that most people aren't Mexican. They're Ecuadorian, they're Salvadorian, they're from Argentina, they're from Colombia, they're from the Dominican Republic. So we try to really get everything together in one place. I've made a lot of new friends after school just because it's somewhere where I can talk about things that I know and things that they also might know. And I feel like the music is a really big part that we all just bond. And I think that's something really rewarding that I got off of it. Yeah.
Even students who aren't in the leadership position feel the difference that it's made in their lives. Yeltsin Garcia, a club member, says that joining LSA allowed her to get closer to her culture and other peers.
Something that inspired me was just connecting more with my culture and just with people that have similar backgrounds and just trying to do something positive around the school. I'd say the LSA club can just promote the culture and events, so it helps people get more educated in general, and we just try and build a welcoming community for everyone that comes to our clubs, and just you're more guaranteed that you're gonna walk in a little awkward, but you're gonna end up laughing and having fun throughout the club.
From the president to everyday members, the Latino Student Association is clearly making a positive difference at East Kentwood. Students say that the club has helped them build confidence, develop social skills, and create long-lasting friendships. LSA has become more than just a club. It's a place where students found belonging and confidence. At EK, I'm Rania Khani.
And that wraps up your news this week, Falcons.
Now let's toss it over to FNN sports reporter Reese Emiot for this week's EK Sports Report.
Welcome back to the Atlanta Falcons. It's Reese here bringing you your EK Sports Report. Over at the wrestling mats, the boys team went to team districts on Wednesday. Shout out to Tyler Mewson, Isaiah Hudnell, Jaden Ward, Davian Pearson, and Delamonte Price for going 2-0 Wednesday night. EK beat Ottawa Hills, but unfortunately fell short in the finals 47-43 to Burn Center. Tomorrow, 14 of the guys are heading to Grand Haven for individual districts. The girls team are also starting individual districts at Grand Haven tomorrow. Congrats and good luck. On the court, Tuesday the boys dominated Hudsonville 69-51 and look to continue their winning streak tonight against Grand Haven. The boys are back in the fieldhouse one last time for their senior night next Tuesday. Our girls lost to Hudsonville 54-36 but are looking to bounce back tonight also at Grand Haven. Now some quick updates from our postseason teams. Competitive cheer are at Granville tomorrow for the Granville Pink Out Invite. Good luck, Falcons! Over on the ice, the hockey team is traveling to Mount Pleasant tonight and tomorrow. That wraps up this week's sports report. We'll be back next week with postseason updates. Now let's pass it back to the desk.
That does it for today's show. We will be back next week with more, but until then, make sure to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to Falcon News Network on YouTube, where you can catch sports live streams, previous episodes, and other great content.
Plus, check out Falcon News Network on Spotify for our new season of podcasts. Enjoy your midwinter break, and we will see you back here next Friday.